Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the heavy-handed phenom, the popular legend and street fighting star of the internet. Here he is, the one and only Kimbo Slice.
Before the flashy cars, the fame and clout amongst the awestruck audiences in different places of the world, audiences who could not have enough of Kimbo Slice is a story you would never have imagined. Maybe you could have imagined it anyway, since it borders on the cliche term of a grass-to-gray story, but you most likely did not imagine it in this manner. Before Kimbo Slice was Kevin Ferguson, who struggled to make ends meet after being homeless from the disastrous Hurricane Andrew that left welts and scars on his body. That pent-up anger, coupled with the frustration and fear of being a failure, sums up the drive that rose him from a street fighter to an insanely successful MMA career. We have interesting details to share about that process today. Watch till the end to find out these shocking and mind-blowing facts. After the hurricane, Hurricane Andrew was described as the most scarring and traumatizing experience in the life of Kimbo Slice for several reasons. Not only did it trample on his dreams of playing college ball by taking away his scholarship due to the abrupt end to his career as a linebacker for a high school team, but it also took away his home. From then on, Kimbo Slice made several attempts to regain his former tracks, but all failed, and by 1994, he was already on the streets trying to make it through life. One would easily think that the big and buffy man would use his intimidating physical appearance for evil, but Kimbo Slice neither had the heart nor the interest to cheat people. Instead, Kimbo became homeless and lived off a 1987 Pathfinder with mismatched tires, took baths in the ocean and pools, and did menial jobs for people to survive, like washing cars for strangers. But Kimbo Slice was too proud to go back and live with his mother as a man, and would rather face life head-on. Later, Kimbo got jobs as a limo driver, a bouncer at a strip club, and a bodyguard for a Miami porn distribution company, running between jobs to afford him the opportunity of moving from the back of a car to an apartment. Street fighting. Before street fighting, close associates confirmed that Kimbo Slice has never bullied people with his physical strength, nor involved in any form of violence with anybody. According to him, to hurt someone vulnerable, I just couldn't do it like that. This is because he understood the effect it would have on him as a citizen, and the type of legacy it would leave behind, especially for his children. Kimbo recounts that moving to the roughest parts of Miami was tough, as he lived in the middle of a crime-filled neighborhood, which required him to be strong for himself. He reported that the streets were unpredictable, and he was bullied in middle school for his accent and personality, and some would even try to steal his lunch because he did not belong. However, this did not cause him to be violent. Kimbo's only record of a fist fight before his street fighting days was in school at the age of 13 in an attempt to defend his friend from another schoolmate. His street fighting career officially took off in 2003, when he began his career in unsanctioned mutual combat street fights. Slice reportedly dropped his fists and advanced towards his opponent after taking hits from his, which boosted his street cred. The fight that earned him $3,000 for a knockout was against a community bully who had been terrorizing the neighborhood with crime and fear, and has recently been released from prison. During the fight, Kimbo was seen reeling up Big D to come at him. His friend, Mike, taped the fight with a man named Big D, which made it to the internet and gave him his first major publicity, and left a large cut on his opponent's right eye, which led internet fans to call him Slice, becoming the last name to his already popular childhood nickname, Kimbo. Slice fought maniacally on the streets, with Mike's initiative that they should drive from neighborhood to neighborhood to engage the tough guys and bullies for staked matches so that he can earn more money to cater for his family, and it worked. Kimbo Slice tapped from a place of pent-up anger and frustration with his condition on the streets to test his strength and to equally make money. Interestingly, the fights did not have any hard and fast rules, but the rules of engagements were decided by the crowd, and each neighborhood simply brought their bad guys to contest against Kimbo in a match that was decided by the dons of the streets. Though his mother did not approve, Kimbo put up as much as $5,000 to anyone who could match his stake and beat him. To him, However violent, this was more honest work than an easy life funded by crime from stealing on the streets. Most of these fights became viral on the internet, especially YouTube, and while some derived fun from all of it, others misjudged him and called him names for being violent. Professional career. While trying to break his way into the professional circle, most MMA elites did not take him seriously and mostly talked down on this person. They considered him a mere street fighter who did not have any abilities to match up with them in the cage. In 2005, Slice started training in martial arts at the Freestyle Fighting Academy under Marcos Avellan and David Avellan. At first, Slice was training exclusively for illegal street boxing, focusing on bare-knuckle techniques, dirty boxing from the clinch, and elbows. But then he began to develop an interest in MMA. In 2006, Slice faced off with Mercer to make a debut at Cage Fury Fighting Championships. Ray Mercer commented boastfully that the quality of guys he is fighting, they're bums. I'm the former heavyweight champion of the world, indicating that Kimbo was no match for him. But the match, which was scheduled for 3 rounds following all MMA rules of engagements, ended at 1 minute and 12 seconds into the first round, with Slice defeating Mercer with a guillotine choke. The fight was Mercer's final MMA attempt. Dana White from the UFC mentioned that Kimbo wouldn't last 2 minutes in the octagon, and Tito Ortiz reduced that to seconds. But Kimbo Slice rapidly progressed into the international stage, regardless of the hurdles and criticism that came with his roots. Before long, Kimbo's clout began to sell out arenas, and he lived up to his hype. Several other professionals, who thought themselves equal to the task, made statements before matches with Kimbo that they no doubt regretted afterwards. Abbott, before fighting Kimbo, said that it's going to be an easy beating. I can't wait to hurt him. I've been in over 200 fights. I bench press 600 pounds. He doesn't have the skills to hang. Kimbo beat Abbott in 43 seconds, and only because he waited for Abbott to get up after dropping to his knees. MMA veteran Bo Cantrell had it coming after his sassy remark before his match with Kimbo when he said, "I've been fighting for 5 years, tough cats. I don't make a living beating up little kids on YouTube." There's a big difference between being hit by someone who's trained to fight and someone off the street thinking they're tough. Inside the cage, Kimbo only spent 19 seconds beating Bo Cantrell with nothing but punches. One of his most controversial matches was at the February 2016 Bellator 149, where he faced Data 5000, a man whom he had a big rivalry with following their street career. Both men suited each other in the cage, fighting to obvious exhaustion down to the 3rd round of the game. After gassing out in between fights and picking up again, Slice won the match through technical knockout, after Data passed out from exhaustion. Later, it was revealed that Slice was found wanted for his use of drugs and the apparent failure of the drug test before the match. Despite being widely criticized, the match garnered approximately 2.5 million viewing households, breaking the Bellator record of 2.4 million set by Kimbo vs. Shamrock. Unfortunately, the rematch never held as Slice passed away from heart failure in June 2016 before it could happen. Kimbo tried out boxing for a change in combat sports for almost 3 years and had other media coverage from a series called the Junkyard Series, as well as the Iron Ring, Blood and Bone, amongst others. Kimbo retired from boxing to spend time with his family because regardless of his career, he was a true family man at heart. And this brings us to the end of the video. Leave a comment recounting your favorite memory of Kimbo Slice in the cage.
It don't stop. All day. It's hot nigga eat, man.
People for yourself at all times. Said the Kimbo will come in. Control collector already a body shot. Ripping. Good clean fighter will not come. Right across the jaw. The third one's the jaw.
Obey my commands at all times.
Houston, yep. He's taking his back.
The day is on, the time has come.